John, you texted me, I thought, with the great stock idea today, which echoes something my other guest, Chris Bretcher, pointed out, which was travel stocks. And that to me looks a lot more like everything's going to be all right than everything's going to get, crazy. Tell me what you're looking at.
Well, we're looking at a lot. I mean, for
I got
instance,
NCLH looking pretty good.
Yep, NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. These guys, of course, Americans in big numbers, and it's not just Americans, but have been going on to cruise lines, onto cruise ships. We're in basically that sweet spot where it's cold up north, but it's where I am in Puerto Rico, lit every day. And I think that Norwegian Cruise Lines is going to continue to see some very positive booking numbers and room sales and all the rest. So somebody stepped in today, Oliver, and bought 3,200 of the May 25 calls. That's out in May, I understand, but the stock was 24.69 when they did it. So they're basically buying the at the money call, betting that, well, I think it's going higher between now, February 18th and May 15th. So I basically have April and then May, March, April, and May. I've got 3 months for this trade to be right. And I'm only risking basically 10% of what it would cost me to buy the stock.
So you said they're buying which strike, the 25s?
25s out in May with the stock at 24.69.
So almost at the money here, $250. It's running you $250 right now to buy that.
Yep.
Okay. And so you get time for it to move. The chart kind of has this like coiled up thing going on if you zoom out on the long term. But to your point, people just have really loved the cruise stocks, surprisingly so. I was one of the things I was wrong about in COVID. I was like, this industry is toast. But, I was speaking too much from kind of perspective of someone who hasn't been on a cruise.
Well, and I am not a huge fan of those super big ships. So you and I would be the same there, even though you'd be in the poker room playing, of course. And
That's the other problem.
That's
the other problem is they only got blackjack on those things, and the rake is insane if there's any poker. But then I also don't want to be the guy on the poker cruise, but I might one day. Because they've got those,
Yeah, you know what? They should get the gamble on the poker cruise.
That's right, 100%.
You would rock that.
I love it. In fact, we should run it there. You betting on the Olympics at all, John? I don't know really jack about Winter Olympics, and I barely know enough about football to make a few bets this year.
Well, I've been rolling over winning bets on the USA hockey team.
Okay.
And
right.
and the USA women. I'm betting on both. So this is not John being a sexist. I'm betting on both.
You're betting on everybody. All right, I like that.
And in both cases, the big one standing in the way, I think, is Canada. And it's a blood match for both men and women fighting against, the place where hockey was invented. But as I heard some week or on a reel, they said, we appreciate Canada because they invented hockey. We perfected it.
Right, nice. Look, I mean, pretty dramatic. It was a pretty dramatic moment here earlier in the day because I'm looking at the odds on Kalshi right now and how it developed, and the U.S. jumped up to 40%, and then we lost it, and then Canada zoomed back up. So, I mean, pretty nice to be within trading at a 3 handle right now against the folks who invented it.
Yeah. Is and those are exciting matches. I mean, I know people love watching curling. I don't get it, but I know they love watching curling. I'm really more of a hockey fan and a downhill skiing fan. So I've loved what I've seen from the U.S. women's team, and
skiing was pretty wild.
Yep, and you can bet on all of that, whether it's Kalshi or whether it's Polymarket. Love them both. For the fact that you can, basically run with the momentum and then trade out of it. You don't have to hold it till the bitter end.
Right.
There are modifications to bets you make in Vegas where you might be able to do something similar, But I think the real edge is being able to trade in and out of particular. And again, by period, you could do it by period. If all of a sudden the U.S. and Canada are 2-2, you could, basically define your bet for the end of the game. It's
Right.
the
Yeah.
bet. I
No,
love that.
100%. It's the market gets liquid enough at the best times. John, before I let you go here, the next couple of days we do have some economic data on the way. The numbers for durable goods surprised positively, even though the print there could have been better nominally. It was still above the consensus. You've also had industrial production, which hit above. All the manufacturing stuff continues to surprise right now. I don't know, John. I'm feeling more and more like I don't want to switch up this Fed, but I don't have a choice.
Well, you know what I'd like to switch up? I'd like to get Jay Powell the hell out of there
I
because
know you do.
this joker continues to say that he is data driven. Now, if you've looked at Trueflation lately, it's under 0.9%. Trueflation. And you look at, any measure of inflation, it isn't going up, it's going down. It's going from the upper left to the lower right.
That seems
So,
like job well done, right?
yes, exactly. But if you're data driven, then why aren't you? Why are you afraid to cut rates? In
Sure.
other words, he moved up rates and kept them very high for way too long, just like he left them too low for too long. And now, instead of saying, "Yeah, I am data driven," and "Yeah, inflation's under control," and employment also had a positive reading for us last week with the January data. So what's your excuse now, Jay? Just
Right.
because you hate the president, you don't want to move on rates? You're
Well,
screwing the
that's where
American consumer.
I mean, we look at the trend for the Fed funds rate. Obviously, he's cut since the high, but it's been slow. My counterpoint, as it's always been, John, is just if it's not broken, why try to fix it? We're okay. Maybe it's now we are in the clear. And I think they are going to start cutting rates, right? He's just not necessarily rushing to do it. We got stocks cruising at highs. We got economic figures printing pretty good. Luckily, bond yields came back in, so I don't think he's got to worry about it too much. But I think they want to, right? It's going to get there. It's just, if you rush it now, then it almost seems like he'd be doing what the Republicans said they didn't like to begin with, which was like doing something political.
Believe it or not, it's going to play right into his hands too, because you know what's going to be happening once we get the new Fed chair in there. After Powell is gone in May, we're going to get cuts going into the midterms. How do you think that's going to play? So this guy being a fool and being a liar by saying that he is data driven when he is not data driven is playing right into Trump's hands here.
All right, well, we'll see. I'm worried that when he does, we might get some havoc in bonds, but so far it's pretty chill. Thanks, John. I like to look at the cruise lines, too. That's a nice trade on the American economy. Appreciate it, sir.
Appreciate it, sir. Have a good
You
one.
got it.